To this day. To this day.
Rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
What up, Bushido? Spirit Power Book Ghost Season 1, Episode 4, The Prince. Rather than waste all of y'all's time, let's jump right into it. Let's just talk about the episode. No need to do a recap. Let's just talk about it. Now, the first thing that I wanted to discuss was the fact that Drew is gay. And it's not even like that's a problem. It's just the fact that why does the soft nigga have to be gay to further drive home the point that selling drugs is not for him? We seen the original Power. Gay niggas make the best kingpins. So if anything, this ups his eligibility. This is a booster. It's a booster for Drew, man. He needs this. Like he needed that basketball player's penis, man. That's what a weird fucking scene, man. What? Like he was there to watch Tariq to see how his business was going. And out of nowhere, some gay nigga saw him and completely wiped his memory on what his job was supposed to be. He completely forgot his responsibilities. Like, I don't know, man. I don't think anybody in Monet's family deserves to run the business. I was rooting for Drew, man. Lobos was top tier. He was the best. And he was a homosexual. Nothing wrong with that. I just have a problem with them saying, hey, this nigga is soft because he's gay. Like, I don't know why they did that. I have no idea why they did that, man. Look, man, back where I grew up, gay niggas had the best hands. They could fight. And I never wanted to be in a conflict with them because that helicopter arm shit was crazy. Nah, I'm only joking, man. They threw hands. Them niggas were world champions. If anything, I was doing the helicopter arms. So I am not laughing at Drew because he is gay. I'm laughing at their decision to make him gay to prove that he is soft. And in all honesty, why does Drew have to be tough to be the kingpin, to be the head of the business? We never seen Monet catch bodies. I mean, she's tough verbally, but we never really see her catch bodies. Kane is the hitman. Why can't Kane be the hitman for Drew when he takes over? Is it just his reputation of being soft? Like, I don't know. I'm confused by that. Anyway, look, I still fuck with Drew. I think Drew is still the best for the business. We'll see how everything goes. We'll see if, I don't even think his father knows about that little secret he has. Maybe Monet knows. She it seemed like she knew about it. She pulled the drawing out of his book bag and saw a half-naked nigga on the page. And she started talking about how people won't understand him and that family is best for him. The world is dark and evil. Like, I don't know what the fuck. Like, I mean, it was all pretty vague. So, I mean, I'm guessing that she knows about it. She just didn't want to come out right and say it. And I doubt Lorenzo knows about it. I don't know how he would feel about that situation. But yeah, it was interesting. And since I'm already talking about Tariq has concocted some new scheme. He found a new way to sell his drugs through a tutoring app. And he used Stern's boyfriend to do it. And I'm guessing that this was just to show us how intelligent he is. You know, not just the books, not just the streets, just everything. This man is Steve Jobs. This man is a mogul, a mini mogul. He is a businessman, just like his father. And on top of that, not even just doing the app. You know, the app made business run smoothly. He was moving way more weight than Scott, the other dude on campus who sells drugs. Was moving way more than him. But still, he just didn't feel comfortable having him around. So he got rid of him, staged the fight between him and his friend Braden, and Scott got suspended. So Scott is out for a couple of weeks, couple of days or so, and they are free to sell however many drugs they want at parties. So yeah, his business is completely booming. It's doing so well that Paula starting to ask questions. She wondering where all this money is coming from. And it's pretty suspicious that Tariq is just like a fistful of cash. It's not electronic transactions. He just handing them outright cash. And only drug dealers do that shit. But McClane is like, hey, as long as we get the money, I don't care about it. But Paula can't really live with that. She has a conscience. Well, somewhat of a conscience. Not when it comes to affairs, but she has a conscience other places. So she goes to the campus, kind of like how Drew went to the campus to see what Tariq was up to. And Tariq just gives her this sob story. Lies instead, says he's stealing from his grandma. She sees a gun in his bag, so she knows something something is going on. But she sort of buys the story of him stealing from his grandma. But we all know that's not the case. And since I already mentioned it, Paula and McClane are together, despite McClane having a wife. So it's an affair. And I gotta say, there was a lot of fucking going on in this episode. A lot of horny people this episode. A lot of horny people. Diana shot her shot at Tariq, just kissed him. We saw that coming. We saw her giving him the Google eyes. Lauren shot her shot. She out here heavy. Got a couple niggas on the side. She trying to be number one in everything, even niggas. Melgram and Reynolds get into a heated argument. So Lauren invites them over for dinner. Melgram, Reynolds, and Tariq. And at the dinner table in front of Lauren's parents, Melgram and Reynolds just started attacking each other viciously. Like, it wasn't even subtle at all. It was blatant insults at each other. And then later that night at the office, they just start making out. They start fucking. And I really don't understand their characters right now. I hear what the show is telling me about them. They got this dysfunctional relationship. They both love each other, but they both hate each other at the same time. But I'm really not into it. I'm really not invested into it. I feel like it should have been built up more. And there has to be something about this that pulls me in, because right now I'm detached from it. There is no connection. I don't see how this affects the overall story, how this comes back to Tariq. I don't know. All I know is that Melgram is fine as shit. God damn, she's bad. That's all I know. Also, this episode, I mentioned before that several people are checking in on Tariq, and including Sax. Sax is always snooping around. McClane tried to get into his ass, tried to expose him for being a fraud, for being a dirty cop, a dirty DA, whatever the fuck he is right now. He's just dirty. He always fails upward. McClane tried to expose that. He used Blanca, but Blanca gets outsmarted by Sax. Like, she gets outsmarted by a dummy. And I used to respect Blanca. I was like, yeah, Blanca. She came in all bad and shit, you know. I was like, this is gonna be Angela's nemesis, her foe. And look at her now. Like, Sax is outsmarting her, man. How is Sax the smartest person in the room now? It don't make sense. And then things get worse, because Sax calls in Tate. And Tate lies like a motherfucker. He just starts lying. And he tries to paint Tasha as the kingpin. He's basically doing whatever the DNC wants at this point. He's trying to progress in his political career. You know, he wants to be the big man on top, and the DNC is in his way. They are preventing him from doing so. So in order to live out his dreams, he has to do whatever they say. And that's pretty much what he did. He lied. So Sax gets off again. There's no consequences for his actions. He just keeps on being dirty. Just dirty. And hell, I mean, he after after he left the judge's office, he like, you know what? I think I'm gonna be dirty again. I'm gonna go off the books again. Fuck the rules. What job? What integrity? So he really wants to know what Tariq is doing. He wants to know how Tariq is paying for McClane, because McClane is all the way up in his ass. Like, he's a little bit scared right now. So he tells his niece, who is a heavy pot smoker, he tells his niece to go to the campus, go to Stansfield, I think that's the name of the school, and to spy on Tariq, to see what he's up to see how he's making all of this money. And she goes there and takes a couple pictures. Now, I don't know if she's captured anything. Tariq calls it the diversion. He set up the fight between Braden and Scott. So I don't know if she got any images or anything. We'll see later. She did take a couple pictures. But yeah, other than that, I don't know what she captured. I don't know if the mission was a success or a failure. It looked like a failure, but I won't know until next episode. You know how they do. And that's pretty much the majority of this episode. We did get a little bit more with Monet and Guap. So Monet met with Guap and the gang, and she had Kane nearby. I mean, Kane was next to her, not nearby. He was there. And she was just telling them, like, hey, we finna cut y'all out. We're gonna shorten up the supply that we give y'all. Y'all making the block hot. Y'all out here on Instagram, Insta Live, just doing dumb shit, just exposing all of your business to the world. And your business is my business. And you're not smart enough, you're not qualified enough for me to listen to anything you have to say. She just sets them straight. You're like, hey, you're showing the supply, that's it. Get out of my face. I can't kill you because Lorenzo doesn't want you dead. He owes your father. So she walks the fuck away. But, you know, Lil Guap, his pride, You know, he felt he felt like he was challenged. He called her a name, and Kane just starts to beat his ass viciously. He just beats the shit out of Guap, and we see Guap just laying on the concrete, bleeding out. He's not dead, but he's hurt. And this right here shows you what Kane is. Kane is a goon. He is not intelligent. He is not smart. He is not wise. The business should not be on his shoulders. He is unpredictable, super unpredictable. And Monet kind of tells him this episode, which is why she sent Drew instead of him. And Kane really wants to be the head guy. You know, he puts in the most work as far as drug trafficking, but he can't see his own faults. He can't see that he is unpredictable. He's crazy. He's wild. He's a shoot first type of nigga. And we don't need shooting first when business is involved. Sometimes you have to talk it out. There needs to be a conversation, dialogue. You can't just shoot a nigga. But yeah, he seemed pretty bothered and hurt by that. So eventually there will be conflict between him and whoever gets the head gig. It's out of Drew or Diana. There will be a conflict. They will bump heads because Kane really wants to be on top. And he's not the type of nigga that'll sit by and let his siblings overtake him. So that'll be interesting when that happens down the line. That is extremely interesting. Also, I'm curious as to what Lil Guap is going to do. What will be his retaliation? Because he is somebody that's way too prideful to let that slide, to just let Kane beat his ass for no fucking reason. Well, it was for a reason. Like, I don't know why I said that. I mean, he was clearly overstepping. But he doesn't care about that. He's not somebody that does some self-reflection. So he will be heated, he will be angry, and he will try to get some get back. And I wonder when that will happen, and at what time will that happen, and how will that affect the overall business? Because right now, Lorenzo doesn't think Monet is good for the job, and he thinks that Kane is a hothead. So if Lil Guap's retaliation causes some disruption to the business, then he will be fully pushing for Monet to be removed and for Drew to take over, which at that moment in time, Monet will just say, hey, Drew likes penis, and nobody who likes penis can run a drug operation. But we see that is false. But I don't know. I don't know how Lorenzo feels about that. I don't even know if he cares. But gay niggas put in working power as far as being kingpins. So I think they need to allow Drew to do it just because of that. But we will see. Everything is just guesswork at the moment. What else happened this episode? There was some stuff with Tasha. Tasha is aware that somebody is watching her. She thinks it's one of the guards, but it's not. I mean, it is, but it's not who she think it is. And you can't really blame her. All she has to go off of is how a certain person, all she has to go off of is dirty looks or insults. And this one particular corrections officer is constantly harassing her. And that's who she thinks it is, but it's not her. That is pretty much my quick take on the episode. Yeah, like not a lot happened. Last week was like very busy. We didn't even see Zeke this episode, so they cut him out completely in this episode. They mentioned his name, but he wasn't really important this episode. Only thing basketball related we saw was that gay nigga with that Kobe tattoo that fucked Drew. Man, I just can't get over that scene, man. This man Drew walks into the class and the dude just smells gay on him or something. Like he knew that Drew was the one. Oh man, crazy. But yeah, I mean it was a solid episode. This is a fun show to just watch. Like I'm not going to overly critique the show and point out issues with the show. It's just a fun show to watch. It's just fun. It's like watching Empire or some shit like that. But I will say that Tariq's character, I don't completely hate Tariq's character. I think that he's doing okay. I still don't love him, and I still think some of the shit he does is bullshit, but I don't hate him. And there's a couple of more things that I overlooked that I didn't really talk about. So McClane and Paula plan to use Tamika, because Tamika is somebody that Sax can't really outsmart, and she doesn't really have anything that he can use to help him. He doesn't have dirt on her like he has dirt on other people. Like there's dirt on Tate, there's dirt on Blanca. He don't really have dirt on Tamika. So McClane and Paula are trying to call Tamika to the stand to interrogate her, to ask her a bunch of questions, to prove to the judge Sax has a vendetta against the St. Patrick family. And finally, speaking on Riley, I don't like her character already. I just didn't feel nothing from her being on the screen, and I I don't know why she's here yet. Hopefully, maybe it'll get better the more she appears. But as of right now, it's not a character I really enjoy seeing. Kind of came out of nowhere. Like, how many W's do we need to give Sax? Like, I'm tired of giving this man W's. He just happens to have a niece that's of the age of Tariq, and he's using her to infiltrate the campus, to go to the school to spy on Tariq. And I think that's pretty much it. If I've missed anything, please comment in the section below. Tell me what I missed. Tell me what I got wrong. Tell me how you feel about this new format of review. None of this is scripted. I'm just talking at this point in time. And this is quicker. I'll be able to pump out reviews extremely quick if I keep doing them this way. All right, I'm your boy Bushido Spirit. Peace out. See you next week.